Hello everybody, thanks for stopping by my channel today. My name is Daryl and we are in my workshop. In the last video, I talked about straightening up my bench and trying to make it a little bit more, user-friendly. I did do some stuff to it and I'll turn the camera around in a minute and show you what I've done. And then I have some other news. My stitches here, I'm going to get out of my face. Tomorrow's Friday, so they've been in there a whole week, so they come out tomorrow, and then maybe I can shave up around in that area and make myself look a whole lot better looking for you guys. And we finally have computers in the house. Our replacement computer showed up, and I'm putting a computer out here in my shop and kind of getting back to normal again. So let me turn the camera around and I'll show you what I've been working on. Okay, here's what I've been working on. As you remember before, I had all these tools hanging up here on these little magnetic holders, like the one that's down here. And I took those off so I don't have any of those tools hanging there anymore. And this shelf I cut down by 3 inches, so it's not as tall. It's 3 inches shorter than it used to be. And then I removed some of the old stuff that I had on here. This is a project RF generator that I got. Someone, another ham, gave it to me years ago, and I'm going to go through that at some point and change some things around and give it a tune-up. And the function generator, too, I've had for a long time. I use it every now and then. The oscilloscope, I could use a newer one, something a little more up-to-date with the times. And my service monitor, I got the General Dynamics R2670B, and it has some pretty cool features on it. So I got that up here. I don't want to keep this up here, really. I do, but I don't. I kind of like to make a floor cart to move it around in the shop, get it down to where I can access it easier, like if I'm tuning duplexers or something like that. So I might make a little cart that'll hold all my cables and everything, and kind of get this off the workbench. I don't like to keep it around the soldering iron and stuff like that, so I don't want any mistakes happening. And then my old Radio Shack multimeter I've had forever, and I use it a lot. I need to upgrade my multimeter, like maybe get a bench meter. And I like to get a bench meter, bench power supply. I don't do a whole lot of repairs or anything like that, but I do get out here and fiddle around. Mostly tuning duplexers and stuff like that, tuning radios. Then my data scan frequency counter, I got that from a Handfest way back in the 90s. And it works pretty nice. My optoelectronics Scout. I like to have the digital version of that one, but this one is cool for taking out and about and checking what frequencies are being used around you. But then I moved all this tools, and then I also have the scope meter I use for my multimeter, so I do keep that here, but I'd like to have something on a bench. And this little protector thing is rotting out there, so I took it off. I looked for a new one online. I couldn't find one, so I might not ever put that back on. I don't know. Then I moved all the solder and everything over here to the end of the bench, but I kind of want to think about making some shelves here to store all this stuff on and get it off my bench altogether. So I have room to work. So that's the bench. And now we'll talk about computers. This is my old computer from my shack. And it was a workhorse. I spent a lot of money on it when I built it, and it got blown up by the lightning strike. So I got a used motherboard and put that in there and just reused the case. The computer that was out here, I ended up giving away to somebody who was going to rob parts off of it. So all the computer stuff and the network stuff, not all of it, but some of it, got given away to people who wanted to use parts off stuff. So like my iPad that I had out here for music, It went to somebody that needed a screen, so I gave that to them. And my sound bar, even though it was blown up, somebody wanted to tinker with that, so they got that. And so a lot of the stuff, instead of just heading right to the junk, to the electronics junk, it maybe get a life as parts somewhere. So we'll see. So I'm going to put this computer in here, and my shelf that kept my old computer off the floor is not going to work for this one. This one's too tall and it's too wide to fit in here. So I'm going to take this thing off, and I'm going to cut the bottom off of it a little bit, and then cut this thing off of it, and maybe put just a piece of plywood up there, 3/4, maybe a little lip on it to keep it on there, but it's not deep enough either, so I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to make it work for now. I like to keep the computer off the floor, so in case there's any water come in here, or, just keep the cobwebs and dirt and everything off of it. I'm not going to just leave this thing sitting on the ground. So I got that to do. And then, since I got my service monitor back out here again, I can go back to the 6-meter repeater. So coming up, maybe the next video, I don't know, I'm going to pull this receive radio out of here. I'm going to put it up on the bench, and we're going to do some receive testing on it and see how well it receives, and then see if we can maybe tweak it a little bit to get the most performance out of it as we can. And then we'll do a little check on the transmit radio, make sure it's on frequency and doesn't need any adjustments. And then that'll be done. And then, like I told you before, we need to come up here and adjust these audio levels. So once I do these two things, we'll adjust the audio levels, and then this repeater is ready to go, except for I need to get a fan installed, like mock it up to how the fan's going to go for the transmit radio. So I need to get a different shelf. I need to get some kind of a fan set up, and then I think I'm going to program the controller to turn the fan on whenever the radio is transmitting, and then when it's been transmitting for X amount of time. So say somebody gets on there and gives their call out real quick and nobody comes back to them, you don't want to have the fan just running and running and running. So, but if somebody comes on and they start talking to someone, they have a conversation going on, I want the fan to come on, and then after the repeater is quiet for X amount of time, it will turn the fan off. So I get a little bit of logic in there. It would be nice to have some kind of temperature sensor that, going down the line, I put in a temperature sensor on the radio, the heatsink back there, and then tell the controller, hey, the fan needs to be on. So we might do that in the future, I don't know. So let me talk about something else that I got for this repeater. Let me set the camera and I'll go grab it. All right, so I ordered a couple of things online and I got them in. I ordered another cable for the controller, and that will go in over here on port 2. And that has a 16-pin connector for Max Track or a GM300. Any of the Motorola radios that have the 16-pin connector, it'll work on. And that will give us the ability to put a radio on port 2 here. So if we wanted a link radio, something to receive, maybe we want some other radio to bring in, like if we had, say I put a VHF radio in, like I can't use this Kenwood, but I can use a Max Track VHF radio and program it up for Weather Channel. Whenever the tones were set off, it would the logic would tell it to turn on the transmitter for the 6-meter or whatever is connected to one of the other ports, and just give out the weather statement. Or you can use it as a back way in to do your programming for the controller and not use the main repeater channel to upload your information to the controller. So I did order that, and then as you can remember, I think I told you in one of the other videos, that these are 3 8-bit shift register ICs, and they control the transmit, the PTT, and the logic for some of the inputs and outputs. So if you, like when I got this controller, port 1 was dead. So what I did was I took this one out and switched it with this one. This is for port 3, so I moved the bad one to port 3 and replaced this one. And there we go. We're back in service again. So if you're ever out, you have a problem with one of these controllers and one of your ports goes dead, it's most likely from this getting some kind of damage to it. I'm gonna check out why it got damaged, but I don't know why this was damaged. Whoever had this before me most likely had an incident and burnt that up. So I switched it. So now our port 1 and 2 are working, but port 3 is not. So I went to Mauser and I ordered me 10 of these. Yes, why 10? Well, I don't want to get into a situation where this is not made anymore. So if we do have issues with a controller, we have spares. So I'll take one of these out and replace it, and then I'll also leave one in the controller itself. So if I'm ever, me or someone else, long after I'm gone, has to go out and service the controller, there's one of these ICs there as a spare. So I'll have 8 spares to myself, and we'll replace the one in the controller, get port 3 working again, and then we will leave one in there for spare. So anyway, so this is the information from Mauser. So if you can see that. So that's that. So that's what's going on there. So we'll change that out and get that port working again. But yeah, we're moving ahead. We're moving slow. It took a long time to get things going again because of all this lightning strike issues and everything. And we're not 100% yet. I still have another computer I got to try to set up for my ham station, but that is not what this used to be. The one I got has very limited USB ports. I have no way to put a external, like not even external, but an internal like CD-ROM on it or nothing. So it is what it is. So I'm going to have to try to figure out what my next steps are with that. So maybe in another year I'll be building a new computer for down in my ham shack. But that's a shame because it's a nice looking little thing. I mean, it's not even probably about a quarter the size of this thing, and not even close to being as heavy because it doesn't have as much hardware with it. So this one is way too big for what I need out here, but it has plenty of USB ports, and you can even slide a drive in here, a spinning drive, and just connect it, not disconnect it. So I made it really handy for YouTube videos because I could just connect in my drive that I'm saving the videos on, and just take it off when I want to put a new one on there. So when that one's full, I just slide it in. So that was pretty handy. Because mainly this is just a server, and it was expensive, man. It was probably $4 grand for what I had there, and maybe a little bit more, I don't know, but I was ashamed to see that go. So I got to reuse the case again and make it run again. So the case was, of course, it didn't blow up. But yeah, so don't have a lot to say about it. It is really depressing that one got blown up, because I had that thing. It was kicking butt with what I used it for. Video editing, all my ham stuff, all my radios were connected to it, and everything that got blown up kind of got blown up through it. All the radios, because they're all connected to it. So made a mistake there. Oh, here's one thing I did do. When I cut this down, one of the reasons why I cut this shelf down is so I could get to these plugs. So now, like you can see, I got this plug here unplugged, and that goes to my power strip down there. And now, at the end of the day, I can just pull these plugs out. The bottom plug there goes to my air compressor that's under the desk here, or under the bench. So now I can just pull those plugs like everything else, and hopefully I won't get zapped again, and they won't get zapped. So that's what's going on. And then now, to show you, I got a new surprise for you. I told you in like the last video or the video before that I got a surprise. So let me go show you what that surprise is. All right, here's a surprise. I got a 220 repeater. It was donated to our club from another club that didn't want to maintain it anymore, or could not maintain it anymore. So they gave it to us. So I got a Hamtronix REP 200 repeater. I don't know if it runs or not. This is an RF board that may be bad. It looks like it's a spare. All the documentation and notes that were taken over the lifetime of this repeater. And this is the frequencies it was on. And then I have the top screwed on, but you can see that they had it off for some reason. And most likely it's not a runner, and it's not running. So we will repair that and get it running again, and then we will install it. And could that be married up to our controller and serve as another repeater on our controller there? I don't know. We'll find out. And with it, I got a set of duplexers. So I got a set of cans here for it, and it has some issues with it, like this is not good. So we'll repair all that. And I think one of these has been switched out for the T that goes here, and that's not there. So we'll tune those up and make sure they're all right, and maybe get this 220 repeater online again. I've never operated on 220. I don't think I have any 220 radios at all. I'm pretty sure I don't. So I'll maybe have to look into buying one. But what do you think about that? What do you think about 220? Let's get this 220 band up and busy. The bands are just the VHF, UHF. Man, I hardly hear anyone on UHF. And that is totally a shame. Down here, I don't think they use it much. Up north of me, they got a lot of DMR repeaters, and they're using a lot of UHF analogs. So, but not down here so much. So I don't know why that is. It's just not done. I don't know. But maybe we can get some interest in things if I get this thing running again. And that's part of the reason for the 6-meter repeaters. One, it's fun. And two, it will just get people interested in those bands. And they can see how fun it is. So you can't have fun if it's not there to play with, right? So we'll get this 220 repeater going. I'm excited about that. There's not much to that inside of that thing, so I don't think it'd be much for me to get it running. So we will put it on the bench at some point. When I get this 6-meter repeater done, we'll put it on the bench at some point, and we'll just give it a check out and see what it can do. And even if it turns on, I don't even have any idea. It was just brought over to me, I think it was just before or after. I think it was before the lightning strike. And it's just been sitting here ever since because I've been too busy with other stuff. So anyways, yeah, we got that to play with. All right, I think I'm going to end this video here. Not much went on in this video. Just mainly updates. I'm excited about getting those stitches out because I've been really tired. I don't know if you can tell it in my eyes, but I'm pretty tired. I have gotten not very much sleep since I got these in. It's because at night I have to have a bandage on it, and it pulls. You know, when you close your eyes, it pulls your skin, and you know, with the stitches in there, there's not a whole lot of give at that side of my face, so it's rough trying to close your eyes and get some sleep. So I probably take a nap today and try to catch up on a little bit of sleep, but yeah. So I'll try to keep you informed about the lightning strike kind of stuff, and like I said, the insurance company did give us a check, but it's nowhere near paying for everything. So some things are not going to be repurchased. Like I don't know what's going to happen with the FTM 400. If I'm going to try to just pay for it out of my own money or what. Kind of is my own money no matter what. I paid the insurance bill, so it's kind of our money. So anyway, but it's not everything's going to be like my computer for the ham shack. It just wasn't enough money there to buy something that would take over this other one that I had. So I just had to settle on one. And then, like I said before, there's still $7,000 out there that I could claim by replacing this stuff. So I'm getting the receipts together, and I'll take it to my agent, and maybe I can get some more money back from that. It's kind of a little, I don't know, like a, what do they call that? Mouse, when you put the banana on the stick in front of the horse or something. I don't know. But it's kind of like you do something for us and we'll do something back for you kind of thing. So you go out and replace your equipment that got blown up, and we'll give you a little bit more money after you make that purchase. So we'll play that game and see what we can do. So I've been trying to buy things that will give me the most money back from what's available, and then I can use that money that I get back to buy the next thing and so on. So it's a big game, and it's slow. So yeah, so I got the computers. The internet is still, it's running, but it's not running well. I got a another router to replace the router that's in the house, and it's not talking really well with the switch I got. So I got to try to figure out what's going on. Oh, actually, no, it's not talking well with the other router. So I got a wireless connection there between routers, and those two routers aren't playing well together. So I got to try to figure out what's going on with it. And then get this computer in my ham shack running to where I can at least try to do things with it. So anyway, so the next time we come back, I will have made the cable for the max track down here, and the radius radio, receive radio, and we'll do a SINAD check on it and see where it's at, and then try to tune that up. So look for that one coming up. I'll try to get this cable made this week or this weekend, and we'll put this radio up on the bench and check it out and see if it's hearing the way we want it to hear, and then we'll just go from there. So I'm back on videos. I'm back on. I think I can start editing them and uploading them. So right now it's been all on the phone. So it's been a real hassle. I'm 61 and it's a hassle. So I'm not as limber and my fingers don't move as well as they used to work. So, but we'll get going on that. So anyway, if you like this kind of content, hit the subscribe button. Make me happy. I'll be really happy, and I really appreciate all my subscribers. Thank you very much for subscribing. Thank you for stopping here and looking at the videos. That means a lot to me too. And I hope they're entertaining to you as well. So until the next time, we'll catch you later.